You know what you need to do. So just fucking do it. Uh, the only way to guarantee success is if you don't quit. Even when you make it, there's no such thing as quitting, right? Even when you make it big, if you start a major corporation, right? There's never a point in your life where you could truly give it up, right? Because there's always going to be something you have to do to continue to become more and more successful. And I think that's the reason why we continue to. That's why I continue to show up every day. I work out in the gym. I work on my business, and I take care of my family. Those are the only three things I do in life. I don't go on vacations. For me, going on a vacation means taking a plane back to Ohio to visit my family for Christmas. But that's not like a vacation. That's like I work all year, every fucking day. And I work on Christmas, but I hang out with my family for a couple hours every Christmas. Because I'm real big on family. And, you know what you gotta do. There's no way to guarantee success. But I truly believe that I'm going to contradict myself and say, yes, you can guarantee success. But it's in the moments of pain when you choose to keep moving forward. That's what separates the men from the boys. You know what you need to do. For me, making this video means that one day I might make money off this video. So, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Like I said, I hang out with my family for maybe 2 hours every Christmas. And I miss out on 2 hours worth of work every Christmas. I don't even take off on my birthday. But I celebrate every religious holiday because a belief in God is the most common mental illness in the world. But I don't think it's a mental illness because maybe I believe in God, maybe I have mental illness, I don't know. I'm about to get a tattoo on my wrist, a cross on my wrist, and I'm gonna get my forearm done at some point. My secret is I just never stop working. So I bump into more opportunities than motherfuckers that do stop working. The only thing is, I have a little home away from home, and it's called the gym. I don't necessarily care too much about, being jacked. I don't think I'm like jacked or anything, but it's nice to build muscle, but I work out for like health purposes and to build a little bit of muscle, just a little bit of muscle every year for like the next 30 years, and I'll be fucking jacked, right? And I work out for my health. And the gym is my little home away from home. I spend maybe like 4 hours in the gym every week. And that's where I go to unwind. Because my career and my work is so intense that go into the gym and lifting weights, for most of you guys, that's like a real excursion. What's the word? I believe the word is a real excursion. It's like hard, right? But that's what I do when I want to relax, is I go to the gym. Tonight, I'm going to be pulling a 36-hour day of work, and that's just me doing what I feel like I got to do. Every day is like a spin on the chance at success. And if you get successful, say 1 out of every 500 spins on the wheel of success, that means I make the big bucks like once every, is a stupid example, but I make stupid money. I make stupid money. I make so much fucking money that I could give $100,000 away right now and not even feel it. I will never miss that money. And to put it to you simply, you have in your mind a direction to get to where you want to go. But a lot of motherfuckers would rather be comfortable and live a good life. You see, I'm different. I'm so invested in my career that I would rather live a really hard life. As long as the payout, as long as the financial payout is, as long as the price is right, I'd sell my soul, if the price is right. But no, I'll never sell my soul, because that's the number one thing that God gave me, is my soul. So you can't just go sell your soul in spite of God, because God works in mysterious ways. God is like, in my life lately, God wants me to stop putting so much faith in God, because God thinks that he's just a person like me. That don't put too much trust in God, because he might wind up breaking your heart. But God won't break your heart. So he won't let you worship God. God will not let you worship him for more than like an hour a day. That's about how much I worship God, about an hour a day. Today's Sunday. No, what's today? Today's Tuesday now. It's past midnight now. It's past midnight now, and I worshipped for maybe like 45 minutes to an hour today. Maybe about an hour and a half. I don't know, somewhere around, like, let's call it an hour. I worship for about an hour a day. But God doesn't want God doesn't get the same sense of glory from being worshipped that you or I would, right? It's an earned thing. God died on the cross for us. That's why we worship God. That's why God is able to be worshipped. It's an earned thing. It's because God is perfect. I believe that. And I've been through hell and back just to go back at it for like another 7 years. I'm going back into my career for like another 7 years, and probably another 10 years after that. So Yeah, tonight's going to be a 36-hour day. I haven't pulled a 36-hour day in a couple months. Um, but I used to all the time in the beginning of my career, but I made a little bit of money. That's why I say, like, sleep on a win and you'll wake up, as Conor McGregor said, sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss. Sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss, right? So I've been sleeping in, I've been drinking alcohol, I've been smoking too many fucking cigars. I lost probably over 10,000 hours in these past 3 years of non-productivity, just sitting around playing video games and shit like that. But I always kept my mind focused on, like, I'm going to get where I'm going. You know, I'm going to get to where I want to go. Sometimes you find yourself just sitting around doing nothing because there's literally nothing better to do. Because you have to go through years to gain the comprehension, which is why most millionaires have been bankrupt 2 to 3 times. Most millionaires have been back to zero 2 to 3 times. I've been back to zero once. Well, technically, I'm humble. I'll say just once. Yeah, I just hope that by the time I'm 40, I got a wrap on this thing, you know. I just hope that by the time I'm 40, I got a handle on my money. So I'm not just going to let it go. That's what it's really all about. Some people have to wind up bankrupt 10 fucking times to appreciate money. Like, one thing is for sure is I get a lot of sweet deals. Like, hey, I want to give you 10 million bucks for such and such. I get a lot of sweet deals. But I turn them down because, like, say, like, someone offers me, I want to give you $10 million for such and such business. I want to buy your business. I'll give you 10 million bucks right now. You won't have to sit around and wait for the right offer. I'll give you a nice 10 million bucks right now. And I turn that shit down because it, to me, is worth 100 million in the long term. So I got somewhat of a handle on, things, but I anticipate that I'll be bankrupt one more time. So yeah, you know what you got to do. You know, like, you have a sense of what is going to get you to the result, right? You have a sense of what is going to get you to the result. You can't count on staying true, right? As I call staying true to yourself, staying true to your commitments. We've all promised ourselves at one point or another, like, I'm going to start going to the gym on Monday. We've all promised ourselves that at one point or another. We all promise ourselves, like, it's like promising yourself, like for me today, my intention is to pull a 36-hour day. I might go to bed at 11 o'clock this morning and pull like a 23-hour day, but that still is a win in my book, you know. It's why business plans are so complex. That's why business plans are so useful, because all throughout the first 4 years that you're in business, you're going to be adding on to your business plan. See this notebook? This notebook is my business plan. I add on to it like every so often, like every few days, or sometimes every few weeks. And I got another journal right here, short but sweet version of my business plan. I add on to that like every now and then. I think I added on to it today, but I haven't added on to my short but sweet version in probably like 2 or 3 months. So I like this size notebook because I could take this notebook with me anywhere. If I'm homeless living on the streets, this is going to be in my back pocket, and I'm going to be doing what I got to do. Like you guys, if you've been my friend for a long time, you know that I've been homeless, kicked out of my apartment like 7 times. And for a grand total of like 2 months. It's kind of hard to accept being on the streets for a lifestyle. And to make things perfectly clear, I'm not a failed adult. I chose to live on the streets the first time because I thought that would give me more time to work on my business. Actually, what happened was I wound up just walking around trying to bum a couple bucks off someone so that I could get something to eat. That's the reality of living on the streets for those motherfuckers that do not know. It's not a lifestyle for anybody. And the system is set up in such a way where the system is set up in such a way where like it's kind of hard to not live by a certain standard. Like where I'm from, North Olmsted, Ohio, where I'm from, you know, they don't just let niggas be homeless, you know. Because that's the first thing I did when I was living on the streets is I went downtown because I know that's what I had to do. And it was like, my perspective on it was, I'll just sleep outside somewhere. It was like August, so it was getting fucking cold outside. At night, it gets cold in August. And when it starts fucking raining, that's not a good thing either, because none of the businesses, because all the homeless shelters are downtown. So none of the businesses will let you just hang out. And if you're homeless, you probably don't got too much money, so you can't really just, more or less, like you gotta find like a overhang to chill. You gotta find like a overhang or like a canopy or something to hang out under to get away from the rain. And one time it was actually 2 years ago. Keep in mind, I've had access to a lot of money for a long time. And that's how committed I am to my future, is the fact that I could have sold my business for $100,000 6 years ago, 8 years ago. And I was fucking homeless, and I had to bum like cigarettes and bum $1 or whatever the fuck I had to do. And yeah, it wasn't. The story I was saying, I was kicked out. Nah, because the motherfucker tried to have me set up. to get beat up. Because I'm from the streets now. But I wasn't gonna let that happen, so I dipped and called someone to have him set up. Because I'm from the streets now. And neither one of us got beat up or set up or anything like that, but phone calls were made. And that night I spent at the homeless shelter, and then the next day I moved somewhere else. But by the time I got back to the shelter, this was like in the middle of fucking January or something. By the time I got back to the homeless shelter, the fucking icicles were dangling from my fucking beard. I had like a big beard at the time. Not like a beard like this, it's like a big beard. And fucking icicles were dripping off my fucking beard. Like a full beard of icicles. Like motherfuckers that live in Alaska and shit. And, yeah, so that's one story of my come up in life, is I was homeless for 2 months over the course of 7, like, episodes of homelessness. So, God, though, put this smile on my face that kind of said, like, you know, I might be on the streets, but I'm not staying there for too long. You know, I'm not like, I'm homeless, but I'm not a fucking homeless person. You know, mostly the people that are homeless are people that are older. And sure thing, there's a lot of people that, you know, people getting out of prison, people kicked out of their apartment. Like, over my days at the homeless shelter, the maybe like 4 times I spent at the homeless shelter, because most of the time I live in my car, but you really want a bed to lay down in, so you go to the homeless shelter, right? You can't, like, to this day I can't fall asleep sitting up, so I slept in my car a couple times. It was fine, and then I didn't have a car because I had $1,200. I could have got the brakes fixed on my car, or I invest money into my business at the time, which I don't even have that business anymore. It's long. I long since threw it in the garbage because I had much better opportunities. Thank God. And no matter what, this is what I'm going to end the video on. No matter what, I think inspiration is a blessing. But it's a curse at the same time. Because once you sit with an image in your mind so long of, like, your standards go up and up and up and up and up. Like, for me, I'm either very happy with very little, or I'm content with a lot. But there is no in between for me. Like, right now I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. And I continue to live here because it's very convenient. There's a lot of bars right around the corner, so if I want to go pick up chicks, I literally walk 10 minutes to the bar and then handle business. You know what I'm saying? But inspiration, and this is what I'm going to end the video on. Inspiration is a blessing and a curse. Because it's a blessing because having the inspiration to do something is the first indication that it's going to happen. Because that desire was put in your heart by God. It's not a promise that it's going to happen, but mostly, your truest desires will come true. That's based on where you're at in your soul's journey. See, me, I'm an old soul. So I tend to get whatever the hell I want. And money is a given. But I don't play the power game. Like, I'm going to run for president one day just to see if I can win. Like, by the time I die, I want no regrets. The only regrets I have in my life, and it's not even a regret because it's good in life to have a few regrets. But the fact that I have a few regrets means that I have no regrets. That might only make sense to a few people. And inspiration is also a curse because your standards are so high that you can't even go and make, like for me, I can't even go and make like six figures. If you offered me $200,000 a year right now to work a job for my life's work, I would turn it down in half of a heartbeat. I would turn it down instantaneously. You know, I'm not cocky. I'm not one of these guys that I'm going to paint myself as a perfect fucking example of doing whatever it takes to succeed, man. Yeah. Like, the reason why I'm awake right now is because I woke up late today. And, like, I woke up on time, but I took a nap in the middle of the day. So now I have to overcompensate by staying up 36 hours. I'll probably wind up falling asleep around 24 hours, if I'm being modest. I'm not going to paint myself like this perfect image of this perfect person, but I do above and beyond what it takes to succeed to the level that I want to succeed. And if God wants to bless me with even more money because I put in more work, that is more than welcome. But all I really want is to not want for anything. So if you have super high expectations, it's not even the fact that you wake up in 10 years and some stuff you've accomplished, some stuff you haven't accomplished. So you feel like shit, man. Like if I only go to the gym one day a week for the next 10 years and I'm not where I want to be physically, I'll feel bad about that, you know, but what was the fucking tangent that I was just on that I wanted to really finish real bad? Inspiration is a curse because, like, for me, my ambitions are so high that I'm not going to be truly happy for a really long time. When I become a billionaire, that's in United States dollars, by the way. When I become a billionaire, and then when I become a trillionaire, like, that's when the real dream happens. But I'm gonna be fucking 65 years old when I become a trillionaire. And if I keep smoking cigars like the way I do, I might die at the age of 75, you know. So I'll live a life without want for like, and we're talking like on a level of logic too. To live a life without want, it can only really happen for maybe like 10 of us in life because there's just not that many resources in the economy. There's an idea that acts like a fucking virus in the mind of humanity, that you think there's enough for everyone to be rich. That's why everyone's pissed, because everyone wants to have all the best shit. But there's not enough diamonds in the fucking earth that we can actually obtain. There's not enough precious resources for all of us to have a solid gold Rolex. There's 7 billion fucking people. You know, there's not enough resources for like the finer things in life. But you don't even know that if you have a roof over your head, if you ask me, you're rich. I'm like, fucking, you know how people that go to prison become what they call institutionalized? After you live in poverty for so long, I'm pretty, like for me, I lived in poverty for 15 years. I'm pretty happy just to have a roof over my head. Gratitude is a path to riches, just as much as, like, if you won the lottery today, you'd probably go and spend the money because you don't even appreciate a lot of money. You think if you win 200 million bucks, that's like how I look at 200,000. You would spend 200 million bucks like I spent 200,000. If I had 200 million in my hand right now, I would never let it go. You know, I would never let it go, you know. Because I lived in poverty for 15 years. Most of you motherfuckers are spoon-fed with a golden spoon all your fucking life, and then they shove the spoon up your ass when you're 18, and you gotta go to college and be your own person. Speaking of college, I'm taking this course in web development right now. I got to get off the video, so I think I talked about a lot of important shit in this video, so please leave a like on the video. I spent 32 minutes of my life talking to you guys, so please leave a like on the video if you've made it this far, and follow your inspiration if you can, because the receipt for regret is much more pricey in a negative sense than the receipt for paying the price to live your dreams. It's different for me because I feel like I'm gonna live this life over and over and over forever. So what I want to do is I want to make it fucking worth it, not just waste my life anymore. Yeah, there's times where I waste my life. I play a lot of video games. I play video games for about 2 hours a day. But keep in mind, I live my life on 3 hours sleep. I'm a big fan of MMORPGs. I only play one. I play RuneScape. But I squeeze in time every day to engage in leisure, because what is the money all worth if you fucking just work your life and it could be gone tomorrow anyways? So I spend about 4 hours a week in the gym. I spend about 2 hours a day on RuneScape, and about, I haven't quite gotten it figured out yet, but probably about 6 hours every Christmas with my family. Let's see, let's say I live my life on 3 hours sleep. Let's say I waste, you know, I spend 16 hours a day being productive. Because motherfuckers that have 16 hours a day, and whenever you, I'm sorry, I said I would leave the video 10 minutes ago, but I still got more to talk about to give you guys some useful information. If you don't watch these videos, you're a dummy. Because I might just be one of the greatest minds in business and life. Bitch, I might be. Okay, so let's say I'm productive for 16 hours a day times 7 days a week, 112-hour weeks. But the cold reality is I'm probably being productive for about 18 hours a day for 7 days a week, which is 126 hours a week. Times, how many weeks are there in a year? 52, right? Which is 6,000 hours a year. Times 10 is 65.5 thousand hours in 10 years. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is one of the only things in 30,000 hours of study that I carry with me to this day. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Owning a business is not a sprint. It's a marathon. When you're looking into the future, you never guess that you're going to be rich in a year. Because when you're not rich in a year, which 99% of motherfuckers are not going to be rich in 12 months. If you start a business today, you got a steep learning curve. But keep in mind, we overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in a lifetime. So keep your fucking head up, and if you don't have aspirations to be rich, I think everyone does, but you're the real MVP, because I need this money to be happy. So much of my sense of significance is tied up in money and making more of it. What, baby? I love you. I'm gonna hop off the video.